Hello, Serrani Duck, and welcome back for another video. This time I've got two nice replays for you in the Tier 10 American heavy tank, the E5. In particular, the second replay, really nice game, but yeah, they're both decent games, so I wanted to get them out there. I have already got two replays of this tank on my channel. One where I free marked the tank, and another one where I think I have like a 9.5k damage gain. So if you like this replay and you haven't seen the other one, it's worth checking them out. But I had a couple more games in this tank and I wanted to just get another replay out on it, mainly just because I really like the tank, you know. Since they buffed the DPM of this tank, probably about a couple of months ago, so relatively recently, it's really made this tank, you know, it's so fun to play. Not quite, you know, as good as it used to be in the old days where the turret was absolute god tier. That little cupola, sorry, was absolutely god tier. You couldn't penetrate it half the time. But it's still a very good, very decent tank and a fun tank to play. You know, it's probably not as good as the Super Conqueror, say, but it's just so much more fun to play than the Super Conqueror. For me, the Super Conqueror is quite a boring tank, very good tank, but a little bit boring to play at times, where the E5's it's got that extra mobility, and I just find it's quite an enjoyable tank. So yeah, one obviously El Haloof here, managed to pick up a nice, you know, a little bit of damage early, got 800 damage to that TD and the Centurion, nice and early on. And now we're going to push up to this ridge line. I'm just being a little bit careful because I did spot there was a 3-man platoon, I think of 2 heavy tanks and a medium. And I've noticed they pushed up to this direction, you know, using this ridge. So I was just being a little bit careful. I wasn't going to overcommit, but I do like to take this ridge as well as this, you know, what sometimes can happen, I find, in this map, but you get all the heavies go down like the 1-2 and that sort of ridge around the right. And if you've got so many tanks in that one little spot, there's not enough room for all of your tanks to fire, and you've only got one angle. So I really hate it when when the friendly teams give up this position completely, because then it often, you know, puts you on the back foot. So I'm going to make sure I try my best to hold this position where I can, and I do have 2 friendlies with me, making it a little bit easier. But you can see here we've got these heavy to the right and heavy which is pushing right over now, about German heavy tank, just pushing right over and trying to be aggressive. But we do make him pay for that. He's lost a lot of hit points, and now you've got this T6A just putting shots into me. You can see already I've bounced 2,000 damage. So this tank, you know, when you're using that little bit, I've got the increased armour because obviously I'm down on the slope, so they're swooping down on me, so it's increased my angle of my armour here. But you really can actually bounce quite a lot of shots, even though the cupola now is not as strong as it used to be. It's still not a guaranteed pen every time if you're using your gun depression. But yeah, so we really managed to rack up sort of 3k damage, and we stopped the enemies from advancing around on us. I didn't want them to win this side and push around behind us. That's why it was important for me to hold this position. And this is, you know, it's almost where we win this part of the map quickly. It's almost securing the win for us. Because we just want to, you know, it's quite a key area. Once you've won this bit of the map, you can push it to the base, or you can turn around if you need to, depending on what the enemy team have done. But we've already racked up just sort of about 3,500 damage, and securing a couple of kills as well. And it's looking like we're going to be able to wrap up this side nice and quickly. So we've seen this, we're trying to get shots on this object 257, but the T30 backs down, and we managed to put a shot into him. Obviously he's got quite a nasty gun, so we want to avoid getting hit by the T30 if we can. But yeah, this object 257 is not having a great time against us there. T30 gets shut down, we try and finish him off. Unfortunately that shot doesn't go in, but unfortunately we do miss the object 268. That would have been really nasty to hit us from the side there. But we've got an opportunity now to get some damage into him, and we're going to try and go for his cupola, which we do. We've got the heat loaded here because obviously we're not going to lose any penetration over distance, and we're going to be able to pen him reliably. I think, to be honest with you, I fired quite a lot of heat this game because I think I kind of just forgot I had it loaded. This bit here is always touch and go. You know, I'm playing I don't just kill myself going down here, because I couldn't be bothered to go the other way round. And sorry, and that is risky because I have died many times going down that ridge. then Wargaming used to always be able to get down there reliably, but with Wargaming, you know, as they do, they make it harder, they put more rocks in there. There's quite a lot of chance of you actually killing yourself going down there. But I wanted to try and stay ahead of my team, and my team was always already ahead of me. And I kind of knew where a lot of the enemy team was sort of progressed towards our base, so I wanted to go the most direct route possible to give us a chance of getting some assistance and give us a chance to give us a little bit more damage. We do manage to pick up a few shots of damage there. It's okay now because we've still got like 1,000 hit points. There's only 5 tanks left, so I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. I'm just going to try and get as many shots in as I can. So yeah, we're seeing this defender. As soon as there's any shots into the defender, unfortunately he's sort of in cover, so we can't get any shots into him at the moment. Sorry. But yeah, so we're just going to go around and see if we can get any shots in this object medium, into object 430, because he's sort of distracted with the our TDs in front of him. So we should, in theory, be able to come behind him and get a few shots in and hopefully finish this off with a strong amount of damage. So we're coming around now. The only concern for me is the defender will shoot me, but as I say, I've got enough hit points now not to worry about that. So we put one in the object, we back round was while we're reloading, and now we're going to pop up and just get the kill shot, picking up another kill. And now hopefully we'll be able to get another shot into the defender, and we should finish him off with one shot, which we do, racking ourselves another kill, putting us up to just under 7,000 damage. And as you can see, we've got quite a lot of damage, we've got like 3,600. So this tank can actually, it can be pretty bouncy, you know, depending on who you're fighting. As long as you keep wiggling and just making it so it's harder for them to, you know, you might get an extreme angle in your lower plate. And catch them off guard. But yeah, so that's it for the first replay. So all that's left to get to results and see how we got on. Just one shy of the top gun, picking up 5 kills, 7,000 damage, 3,600 blocked, ace tanker, high caliber. But if you stay with us, we've got one more replay for you, and I promise it's a good one. So yeah, stay with us and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so thank you for staying with us. Here we are for the second replay, here on proc, and there's no artillery, which is great. Now, just firstly, I'm sorry if I coughed a little bit in during this video. Unfortunately, I've just got over the man flu, but I've still got a bit of a cold lingering. So yeah, I apologise for that. But yeah, on with the replay. We're on proc, and this is a really nice game, mainly because it's one where it doesn't go completely all your own way, so you have to think a little bit more, and they're the games which I really enjoy. You don't get them all the time, you know, especially nowadays. A lot of them is just landslides where you just completely destroy the enemy team, or you know, vice versa, and they're not that fun. I mean, it's nice when you get one where you have to try a little bit, and especially that there's no fun place in this game as well. Because it means I can play this position, you know, how it should be, not have to keep relocating. Unfortunately for us, our Tiger Shark, our only light tank in the game, on our team, sorry, has just got taken out straight away by the S-Bahn. So nice shot by him, which is obviously going to mean it's going to be harder for us to spot, but it does mean I've got a bigger chance of getting some assistance damage. This chieftain, he's sort of pushed into a position which is quite awkward for me, because I want to have to just focus one way really. You can see I've got a lot of support down the 1-2 line, so ideally I'd like to light some stuff up down there if possible. But I've got to be a bit awkward, because you see every time I'm poking up, I'm conscious that I'm going to get penned in the side of the turret by that chieftain. So that is a little bit awkward, so I've just got to bear that in mind, that he is there. But at the same time, I do want to keep poking up and just see I'm picking up already. I've got 1,500 assistance, so I'm just going to be a little bit careful, you know, and take my time. I'm going to hopefully get a shot into this chieftain. He's got tracked. We managed to put one for his cupola, and he gets taken out. And that has just eased up this, you know, this sort of side for us now, and I can play this with a lot more freedom. And from this position I'm in here, I'm too far away from the hill, so anyone on the hill I'm going to be out of render range for, so I don't have to worry about getting shot from there. And I'm just going to poke up, but I am, you know, you see, I'm not hanging around to get shots in because it's very early in the game. They've got an S-bomb, which we know's there because it's taken out the light tank, and there's also an E4, which we suspect is down there. So we don't want to be just waiting, you know, just poking up and just aiming for too long, you know, because then you might get shot. I'm just poking up, trying to get the shot in, and then if I can't get the shot in, I'll just pull back down again and not worry about it, because it's better to, you know, keep your hit points in the game. You've got to keep poking to try and, you know, spot and get shots in, but you don't want to over poke and wait, you know, and then suddenly lose all your hit points from that S-bar, and then you're going to have to play really cautiously, and you might need them hit points later. So yeah, that you just got to be a little bit careful. And at this point, I've got a lot of stuff down the 1-2, which is giving me a lot of assistance damage. So by poking up here and just letting my team put the shots in, I'm getting some nice damage in. But you see, where I can, I will put some shots in. I've got 800 damage, but I've got 2,000 plus assistance. So yeah, I'm just poking up. We don't have any sort of support down the hill, but I'm not overly concerned, because quite a lot of times people go to the hill and they just sit there. They never really push anyway, so they're almost just like they're just waiting for something to happen. So I'm not that conscious, you know. If they win the hill and they come down that side, I can worry about that later. At this point, I'm just going to worry about the stuff in front of me, and what I definitely don't want to, I really don't want to lose the 1-2 line, because that's where most of my team is. And if they then win that side and they win the other side of that, that's when we're going to be in trouble, because we're going to get shot from all angles. But at this point, that's not quite happened. So I've picked up a bit more assist there, and now I can see that it's the mill 2 is making its way down with the 1-2 line, because obviously he realised there's nothing on the hill. But I'm not going to turn around and just follow him down, because I'm the only one lighting stuff up here for my team. So I don't want to lose the vision. You know, we don't have any light tanks, so it's kind of important I just stay in this position, because I'm getting damage, I'm getting assistance. You know, all our tanks down the 1-2, if they're just sitting there and they've got nothing to shoot at, or if the enemy team gets there too quickly because they've got no vision, that's when we're going to be in trouble. We are 3 tanks down, and you can see his Chrysler pushed around. I'm just waiting to see if he pokes around that gap, because then I might be able to take him out. But he gets taken out by a friendly team. But this is a mill 2. I can see he's looking to get shots into me, so I've got one through his engine. I'm trying to almost sort of reverse side scrape. You're just trying to make it so it's a harder angle for him to pen me on. Unfortunately for me, you know, our team's now moving in on him, and I'm not having to concern myself. But the enemy team has now pushed in. Now here's the time I need to be landing my shots, because I can't let them get down that 1-2 line. If they all get down there, then we're probably going to lose this game. So I need to make sure I get as many shots in as I can, keeping them lit to give every opportunity for our friendly teams to put shots in. And yeah, just make sure that, you know, hopefully if they do get down there, they're going to lose, you know, they're going to be a lot weakened in strength. So we picked up 4,000 damage now, 3,000 assistance. You can see this Tiger 2 is thinking about moving down, but we do take him out, evening this up to a 5-5 scoreline. So it's a pretty even game so far. And we've got this E5, he's kind of sort of hesitated, stuck in a little bit of a position now. So we're trying to get shots into him, but at the same time I still know that there's an S-bar there, which you just seen lit up. And I strongly suspect the E4 is there as well. So it's the same principle. I don't want to be waiting too long to get shot, because if I got double tapped by both of them, it's going to ruin my day and ruin my game. Here's the S-bar. I'm going to try and get a little shot in. He's not paying attention to me, so I'll pull back down, but he is now looking at me. But I did pick up another little shot there, putting this up to 5,000 damage and 4,000 assistance. So we're having a really good game. But now this object 430, he's taking that position, the same position the chieftain had on me earlier. Now that is putting me under a lot more pressure, because now if they're winning the 1-2 line and he's there, I'm going to get farmed here. So in a minute I'm going to have to probably relocate, because I'm just going to be stuck in the middle and, you know, just get shot from all sides. So I'm just going to have to accept that 1-2's lost now. They're pushing down. Fortunately for us, the machine actually takes out the E5, which is nice. Keeping our Death Star in there in the game a little bit more, and keeping it on the 4-4 scoreline. But I am moving around here just because this way, if this 430U wants to push to get shots into me, I'm hoping that the grill and machine behind me on the train tracks will be able to shoot him and give me a bit of cover fire. And this now keeps me a little bit more safe from the 1-2 line where I was. Just trying to take out this building here because I feel like it's going to get in my way, but stop me spotting stuff. So I'm going to take care of that just to make sure it's out of my way. And just poking up, I've noticed our TD is now moving down the near towards the hill, and he spots up the chisel just about before I was going to move away, which is brilliant. And now we're going to get some shots into this chisel. Hopefully we can take him out, but we've got one shot into him. We're going to try and get a second one through his track wheel. We do damage his engine, but he repairs, and he's now on sort of 500 hit points. I really want our, the TD, I think so, the grill, just to push down and light him up, because I don't really want him to escape, because it puts in, if we take out him, he's got good vision, good mobility. If we can take him out now, in these sort of clutch situations in the 4v4, it's going to be very handy. So that's why I'm not moving this from this location just yet, because I can see our grill is advancing that way in the machine. So I want to make sure that he's definitely moved on before I go anywhere. Unfortunately for us, this E4 is now pushing our Death Star, but the Death Star has landed a big shot into him, putting him onto 500 hit points. He does die, but him hitting that shot into him, that's at least going to make it a lot easier for us to take him out, because he was on full hit points. Here's this chisel we was waiting for. He hasn't relocated. He probably should have ran, but fortunately for us, he's now taken us out, putting us back on a 3 versus 3. But I'm getting lit up, which I'm assuming is probably from that 430. So I'm not going to sit in that location anymore, because I've not really got any support over there, and I know there's E4 now down the 1-2 line. So my plan is to push round to this side and then try and push up to the ridge, see if we can light up the E4 again, and hopefully maybe our grill can take him out. And yeah, fortunately for me, the grill, he does clutch there and actually takes out the E4, putting us in a 3 versus 2. So he's now at 430 in the S-Bahn. Still got to be careful though, because that S-Bahn, he could easily one-shot us, if he sets them on fire. So we don't want to ruin a good game with a potential loss when we've just got to be a little bit more careful at this stage, because I'm having a good game and I do want to win it. And it's a 3 versus 2, so we're 1 up on the scoreline, but that doesn't mean anything. If you make some stupid plays when there's an S-Bahn in there, you could easily lose your hit points and end up throwing the game. But as long as I'm careful, I'm relatively confident at this stage. I've just got to be a little bit careful and just trying to find out where this S-Bahn's sitting at the moment. I'm kind of thinking he's sitting somewhere down the 1-2. I just want to try and find out where he is. So I'm not going to move exactly. I want to move up with the machine, but I kind of want to do it as we are. So the machine's got one side, we're on the other side. So then we set up a little bit more of a crossfire, on ourselves, and spreading out our range. We can both cover each other from here. At this point, I kind of want the machine to move up with me, and then we can move in together. I just, because I don't want to move in by ourselves and then get taken out, one way, and then, I want to go in together so we can take them out and share our hit points. The machine's now gone in. I didn't kind of expect him to go in that soon, but he's done a good job. He's lit up, and then we now know where both of them are. So I'm going to move round so I can get shots into these S-Bahns. I was kind of hoping he was going to hug that ridge and not go over the ridge, which he has done, because now he's gone over the ridge. Unfortunately, our grill can't get shots into him, so the grill's having to advance. I'm now going to move over. The machine does put a lot of damage into the S-Bahn. He's on a one-shot for us now. He gets taken out by a grill, but then I believe our grill gets taken out by the 430. But we managed to get a shot into him, putting him on a 2 or a 3 shot to us, probably a 2 shot. And at this point, with my hit point advantage, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm just going to try. There's a wreck directly in front of me, and I'm trying to use that wreck as a little bit of cover, making it harder for him to shoot me. You see, he ends up hitting my sidearm. I bounce it off. There's a wreck just there, and that's what I'm trying to advance, using this wreck, making it harder for him to get shots into me. just so I can get close enough to take him out. So I don't want him to run away from me because he's going to outspot me all the time. So I had to close him down there and then, and I did, and we managed to take him out. Yeah, we ended up bringing that to a really nice game. So we managed to pick up 2 kills, 7,050 damage, but we picked up 4,347 assistance, ace tanker, high caliber, and yeah, I really enjoyed that replay. It was a really fun game to play. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. We're getting closer and closer to that 1,000 mark. I really want to try and get there. And I thank you so much for your support. And as always, happy tanking.